Let's get started. Start with listening, and then learn new words and practice them in sentences.
Have you ever wondered what makes a society just, fair, and inclusive? This question leads us to the enigma of democracy, a topic of immense relevance in our modern world. Democracy, a system of governance that's been adopted globally, is underpinned by fundamental principles that foster fairness and inclusion. These principles ensure popular sovereignty, uphold the rule of law, separate powers, and protect individual rights and freedoms. Today, we unravel the essential principles of democracy, the foundations of a just society. Democracy, as we know it today, has its roots in ancient civilizations. Now, let's journey back to ancient Greece, often referred to as the cradle of democracy. Here, the concept of rule by the people, or demos, was first established. This nascent form of governance was not without its limitations, but it laid the groundwork for the democratic principles we cherish today. One such principle is popular sovereignty, the idea that power resides in the people. In the city-state of Athens, citizens would gather in the agora, a public space, to debate and vote on issues affecting their community. This direct form of democracy, albeit exclusive to a select group, was revolutionary for its time. It demonstrated that governance need not be the domain of kings or tyrants, but could be vested in the hands of the people themselves. Thus, the concept of popular sovereignty, the cornerstone of democracy, was born. It continues to shape democratic practices and institutions around the world, underscoring the enduring legacy of ancient Greek civilization. From the concept of popular sovereignty, another fundamental principle emerges: the rule of law. At its core, the rule of law is the idea that no one, regardless of their status or power, is above the law. It is the bedrock upon which a just society is built. It ensures that everyone, from the humblest citizen to the loftiest official, is held accountable to the same set of laws. This principle is not merely an ideal. It is a tangible force that shapes how societies operate. It is a force that reinforces equality, fairness, and justice. Imagine a society without the rule of law. It would be a place where might makes right, where the powerful can act with impunity while the weak are left with no recourse. But in a society governed by the rule of law, everyone has the same legal protections, and everyone is held to the same standards. The rule of law also serves as a check on governmental power. Even those who hold the highest offices are not immune from it. In a democracy, government officials cannot use their positions to evade legal consequences. They are held accountable for their actions, just like any other citizen. This principle is crucial in fostering trust among citizens and in the institutions that govern them. It ensures that justice isn't just a concept, but a reality that permeates every aspect of society. In a democracy, no one is above the law, a principle that safeguards equality and justice. Democracy isn't just about laws and people's power, it's also about the distribution of that power. Let's delve into the principle of separation of powers, a cornerstone of democratic governance, and understand its role in preventing the abuse of power. Imagine a scenario where all governmental functions, legislative, executive, and judicial, are concentrated in a single entity. This could potentially lead to a dictatorship and the tyranny of unchecked power. To prevent this, democratic systems adopt the principle of separation of powers. This principle divides the powers of the government into distinct branches, each with its unique responsibilities and authority. In most democracies, the legislative branch formulates laws, the executive branch implements these laws, and the judicial branch interprets them. This division not only distributes power, but also fosters a system of checks and balances. Each branch can monitor and limit the actions of the others, thereby preventing any one branch from becoming too powerful. Moreover, this separation promotes balance and cooperation among the branches. Each branch relies on the others to function effectively. For instance, the executive branch needs the legislative branch to pass laws and the judicial branch to enforce them. To sum up, the separation of powers is a vital democratic principle that ensures a fair distribution of power. It prevents the abuse of authority, encourages cooperation, and maintains a system of checks and balances. The separation of powers, thus, acts as a system of checks and balances, essential for a functioning democracy. Democracy, at its heart, is about the protection of individual rights and freedoms. In the grand tapestry of democratic governance, the thread that shines the brightest is the protection of individual rights. This golden thread is the lifeline of a just society, safeguarding the liberties and freedoms of every citizen, regardless of their race, religion, gender, or socioeconomic status. These rights are the pillars that uphold the edifice of democracy, fostering an environment that cherishes diversity, encourages inclusion, and promotes social justice. They are the lifeblood of a society that values the individual and recognizes their inherent dignity and worth. Let's take a moment to appreciate the profound importance of these rights. They are not just legal protections, but moral imperatives that define the essence of our shared humanity. They embody the fundamental belief that every individual is endowed with certain unalienable rights, and that these rights should be respected and protected by the state. In a democracy, these rights take on a myriad of forms. Freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of religion, the right to a fair trial, the right to privacy, and countless others are all integral components of a democratic society. Each of these rights is a beacon of light, illuminating the path towards equality and justice. But why are these rights so crucial? Well, they serve as the bedrock of our social contract, fostering a sense of belonging and empowering individuals to participate in the democratic process. They encourage diversity of thought and opinion, fueling the marketplace of ideas where innovation and progress are born. However, the protection of individual rights is not without challenges. It requires constant vigilance, a robust legal framework, and a culture of respect for human rights. It demands that we stand up against any form of discrimination, injustice, or abuse of power. In this ongoing endeavor, we must always remember that the protection of individual rights is not just a democratic principle. It is a testament to our shared values, our collective aspirations, and our unwavering commitment to creating a fair and inclusive society. The protection of individual rights, thus, is not just a democratic principle, but a testament to humanity's shared values. So what makes a society just fair and inclusive? It all boils down to the fundamental principles of democracy we've explored throughout our discourse. We've delved into the concept of popular sovereignty, the idea that power emanates from the people. This principle underscores the importance of civic participation and the collective voice of citizens in shaping the direction of their society. We've also examined the rule of law, a cornerstone of democratic governance. It ensures everyone, from ordinary citizens to the highest-ranking officials, are subject to the same set of laws. This principle fosters accountability and transparency, key ingredients for a thriving democracy. Next, we've unraveled the concept of separation of powers. This principle divides governmental responsibilities into distinct branches to prevent the concentration of power and to promote checks and balances. It's essential in safeguarding the democratic structure from potential abuses. Finally, we've highlighted the protection of individual rights. A democracy must uphold and protect the rights and freedoms of every citizen, regardless of their ethnicity, religion, or social status. This principle is crucial in fostering an inclusive society where everyone feels valued and respected. These principles are not standalone pillars. They are interconnected, each playing a significant role in shaping a democratic society. Their collective application ensures that power is wielded responsibly, citizens are protected, and everyone can contribute to the societal discourse. These principles collectively form the bedrock of democracy, paving the way for a more just and inclusive society.
Let's learn new words and practice English with the topic, Essential Principles of Democracy at Level C1. Sovereignty. Sovereignty, the supreme and absolute authority within territorial boundaries. Example, in a democracy, sovereignty lies with the people, who exercise their power through voting. Transparency. Transparency, the quality of being open and honest, making actions and decisions clear to the public. Example, transparency in government operations allows citizens to hold their leaders accountable for their actions. Equality. Equality, the state of being equal, especially in status, rights, and opportunities. Example, a fundamental principle of democracy is equality before the law, ensuring that all individuals have the same legal rights and are treated without prejudice. Pluralism. Pluralism, a condition or system in which two or more states, groups, principles, sources of authority, etc., coexist. Example, pluralism in democracy means accepting and encouraging multiple viewpoints and stakeholders to participate in political processes. Rule of law. Rule of law, the principle that all people and institutions are subject to and accountable to law that is fairly applied and enforced. Example, the rule of law is crucial in democracy, as it ensures that decisions are made according to established laws rather than the whims of leaders.
Thank you for watching. Like, write a comment of more than 4 words to support us, and subscribe to the channel so as not to miss new videos. Goodbye.